I watched my boss erase 12 months of my absolute best work in front of my entire department while nobody stood up for me. She called my efforts complete garbage and clicked the delete button with a cruel smile on her face. What she did not realize was that those deleted files held the key to millions of dollars in corporate revenue and her own downfall. My name is Natalie Vance, and 18 months before that day, I accepted a position at Apex Summit Advisory. The job description was straightforward, but the reality was that the company was quietly bleeding its most profitable accounts. Our director, Victoria Sterling, believed only in quick transactions and hated when we spent extra time talking to our valuable patrons. Victoria demanded cold efficiency and insisted that personal conversations were a massive waste of company hours. However, I quickly discovered that our patrons were deeply tired of feeling like mere numbers on a balance sheet. I decided to change my approach by focusing on small human gestures that my colleagues routinely ignored during their daily routines. I made a habit of remembering details like birthdays, family health issues, and long-term goals. When a client named Julian mentioned his father was recovering from surgery, I made sure to ask about his recovery during our next call. He was visibly touched that anyone at our firm actually cared about his life outside of invoices. Another major partner, named Beatrice, celebrated her business anniversary, so I sent her a genuine congratulatory message. That tiny interaction immediately secured a brand new contract worth huge sums of money. Soon, the office phones were ringing constantly, with people specifically requesting to speak with me, instead of dealing with our cold customer service team. While the loyalty of our clients reached new heights, the anger of Victoria grew worse by the day. She constantly criticized my methods during performance reviews and shook financial sheets in my face. She argued that speed was the only metric that mattered, but she did not see that my relationships kept the business alive. The breaking point arrived when our chief executive officer publicly praised our record high customer retention during a major staff meeting. I saw the face of Victoria turn completely red with silent rage. Afterward, she cornered me in the break room and accused me of turning the office into a social club rather than a workplace. She ordered me to compile a massive report documenting every single client interaction I had facilitated over the past year. She clearly intended to humiliate me and waste my energy on tedious tasks. Instead, I poured my soul into creating an undeniable document showing how empathy directly generated immense financial growth for our entire firm. 2 weeks later, Victoria scheduled an emergency department meeting to review my report as an educational example. I walked into the conference room, hoping she would finally acknowledge the true value of my dedication. Instead, she projected my files onto the wall and began to mock my writing style in front of all my peers. She called my professional methods childish and moved her mouse cursor over the master database directory. My coworkers watched in absolute silence as she deleted my entire year of work with one cold click of her button. The screen went blank, and she announced that the era of emotional waste was officially over for us. Victoria stood there looking incredibly proud of her authority, but she did not understand her fatal error. She could erase my digital notes, but she could not delete the real human trust I had built. Less than 1 minute later, my phone buzzed in my pocket with an unexpected call from a rival firm called Meridian Group. The leadership team at Meridian Group had been observing my performance for months and wanted me to join them immediately. They offered me a director role with a salary that was more than double my current pay. They explained that relationship-based business was their future, and they wanted me to lead the department. I walked back into the meeting room, where Victoria was still lecturing the quiet staff about corporate discipline. I politely cut her off and announced my immediate resignation to the entire room. The color drained from her face as she tried to tell me I was making a massive career mistake by leaving. I packed my personal items and walked out of the building without looking back a single time. Within days, I started my new journey at Meridian Group, where the culture was incredibly supportive. I never reached out to my old clients because I wanted to maintain my professional integrity during the transition. Despite my silence, those major accounts began tracking me down because they refused to deal with the robotic service at my old firm. One by one, they moved their multi-million-dollar portfolios over to Meridian Group. Victoria suddenly realized that she had destroyed the only connection keeping those clients loyal to her brand for all those years. Within months, the revenue of Apex Summit Advisory plummeted, and they entered a severe financial crisis. The chief executive officer reached out to me personally and offered me a massive promotion with total authority if I would return. He promised me complete creative control, but I declined his offer because I valued genuine loyalty. Today, I lead a highly successful client relations department, and we continue to break industry records every single quarter. I learned that true revenge is not about actively hurting those who mistreated you. It is about succeeding so spectacularly that they must watch you thrive while they suffer the consequences of their actions. If you enjoyed this emotional journey of justice and professional growth, please consider subscribing to our channel. Share this video with your friends and family who love powerful real-life stories of triumph. Stay tuned for more shocking and deeply satisfying narratives that will keep you motivated and inspired every single week.